Hi lovelies. So this is somewhat of an addendum to the video I made last night slash hella early this morning about why I'm done with dating apps after re-engaging with my Bumble account for like 2 days. And I actually forgot to mention something. I kind of alluded to it, but this is more of an issue with the app itself than the actual people on it. But I guess I have misplaced bitterness towards the people themselves as well. But like I said, I'm pansexual and I'm looking for monogamy, and it seemed like the only women that I could find on there were like poly and partnered and looking for a third and ethically non-monogamous. And maybe this is unfair to call it this, but to me it seemed like the vast majority of women on there, at least that my algorithm was showing me, because I didn't have an option to filter out people based on what they're looking for, seems like the vast majority of women on there were unicorn hunting. So if you're not familiar with it, I understand the term unicorn basically to be like a bisexual woman who's willing to just fit into a relationship in whatever way is convenient for the primary couple. And I imagine the situations vary slightly, but it seems like she's basically expected to be like a plaything and to be convenient and to not have too many expectations, to not be demanding, not be jealous, and just take whatever's offered to her pretty much. And if you're looking for a casual thing with someone in addition to your relationship and you're ethically non-monogamous and you're communicating everything up front, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I'm just annoyed at the fact that that seemed to be like all that was being shown to me. And I don't know if Hinge was any different, because I haven't been on Hinge in a long time and I am kind of just over dating apps in general, so I don't want to try it out. But I do have like some misplaced bitterness, I guess, towards that. It's probably unfair for me to assume that everyone was saying they just want a third and whatever is looking for the same thing out of someone, but it's hard to not feel like you're just unicorn hunting. And I am a pansexual woman, but I'm not a unicorn. But Godspeed to you. Hope you find her one day. And I also feel like that's relevant to, like, I think a little while ago it was a little trendier on here. People were talking about people that make fun of bisexual or like queer women who exclusively date men or like pretty much only date men. If you were like legitimately criticizing people for that, or like trying to invalidate their queerness because they like only mostly date men or whatever, I feel like you're extremely tone deaf, and I would love to know what kind of life you live. And the women that are like straight women that make jokes or like say like, oh, it would be so much easier if I were into girls, or like I wish I was into girls and not having to deal with men and whatever. And it's like, I get that, but like being attracted to women is not as easy as it looks. It's not as straightforward as just like you can just at least for me, you can just super easily find an attractive woman that you click with and that wants the same things out of a relationship as you. So it would be easier for the women that are already attracted to women if more women were also attracted to women. So honestly, I'm fine with you wishing that you were queer. Okay, I understand that, because honestly, I think a lot of our lives would be a lot easier if more women were queer. So also, if those queer women like wanted similar things as other queer women and not just wanting a unicorn or just a friggin' plaything that just fits into their pre-existing straight relationship, usually, as easily as possible. So yeah, I wanted to also say that because I'm a queer woman that has only been in relationships with men, and not really by choice, kind of just by happenstance, even though I live in a very queer friendly state. Maybe the thing I was talking about, making more of an effort to talk to people, would make things easier. I imagine it would, with men and women and non-binary people and just in general. But that's a reason that I've found that is probably why it's just easier to end up in relationships with men. And yeah, finding queer women that are compatible with your wants and needs is deceptively difficult, at least in my experience. So I think that's all for now.